Tonight, bundling up to fight freezing weather.
Tonight, Tanya talks to the law.
Tonight is the deep freeze that's descended on Detroit and on Michigan. It's a dangerous deep freeze that can cripple cars, rupture water pipes, frostbite the skin, and even kill. It's a deep freeze of historic proportions. This may look and sound like Siberia, but the pictures you're looking at are of the Detroit River off Belle Isle late this afternoon. It was brutally cold then. It's even colder now. Keith Oppenheim is out in that cold in downtown Detroit, and let's go to him now for more on how people are battling this deep freeze. Keith, I hope you've got a good hat.
More than a hat, a hood to go along with it. As you can see, I'm well bundled up. Normally, I enjoy my job in the outside. Tonight is certainly one of those exceptions, and you don't have to be a mathematician to figure it out. Take a look at the Comerica Bank sign up behind me. You can see that the temperatures posted are minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit and minus 26 Celsius, and that is the reason why many people are having all kinds of problems tonight.
Rule number one in this kind of weather, don't be casual and go without a hat. Be prepared like William McKinney. He was just going out for a walk, but you've got to admire his wardrobe, at least for quantity.
I have 4 sweaters, 2 undershirts under that. I have this hooded sweater here. I'm wearing 2 caps, as you can see, and I have this big war coat that I found at the thrift store.
So we're talking a range of 2 to 4 layers, at least 2.
Oh, yes.
Some people who don't dress right could end up in the hospital. At Henry Ford Hospital, staff are dealing with frostbite cases, often because people aren't bundling up.
It's extreme danger. It doesn't take but a few minutes of exposure to freeze those solidly. And tissues like the ear are particularly vulnerable because the blood supply is small to those areas and they don't stay warm. So,
Linda Wellborn of Royal Oak and her dog Morgan weren't staying very warm, even though they were inside. The furnace broke down and the temperature inside dropped to 56 degrees. Fortunately, the repairman found the problem because Wellborn had been put on a waiting list, waiting that sometimes lasts longer than 24 hours.
Well, they told me that we are not servicing anybody who has heat, only people who don't. So that I was originally on the list for tomorrow.
So you are happy that you didn't have to wait a whole day without heat?
I'm very happy about that, yes.
In Pontiac, it was already minus 6 degrees at 7:16, pretty darn cold. Homeless shelters like the rescue mission were near capacity. Some homeless told us the toughest part of this weather is finding a warm refuge during the day.
It's too cold to be outside. You want to do whatever you can to stay up out of that cold because it's plain and simple. It's cold out there.
You have to survive and keep yourself as healthy as you can.
It's a matter of survival, you know.
Tough night for all kinds of people. Mort, I did learn something about furnaces on a night like this. Many times, furnaces are set to be at a maximum 75 degrees above the outside temperature. And what that means is some furnaces, working as hard as they can, may not provide you the warm house in the 70-degree range. So it's possible that some people who have a cool house, as cool as 60 degrees, their furnaces may not be broken at all. Mort?
Well, I'll tell you, Keith, I walked just a couple of blocks for dinner tonight. Felt like my ears would fall off. It was a big mistake to go without a hat. Did the medical experts at Henry Ford say that this cold weather is especially dangerous to any particular kind of person?
Well, certainly to children, to elderly people, anyone who has any kind of bronchial respiratory problem, and anybody who is out there without proper clothing. And tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned, might be a good day to call in sick. It is very uncomfortable outside.
Well, you got that right. Thanks very much, Keith. Chuck Adick is watching those temperatures as they keep going down. He's in Weather Watch 4 right now, and Chuck, we have to wonder, is there any bottom to this? When will things start warming up a bit?
We've got a few degrees to fall more. We are now seeing a clear sky around Metro Detroit. 14 below zero is the actual temperature, but when you factor in the wind, we've got a wind chill factor of 55 below zero. Take a look now at southeastern Michigan. We again have that 14 below zero temperature. If you get away from town, temps have fallen off rather quickly and have been down there for much of the evening. Flint is at minus 17, last hour Toledo at minus 15, Jackson at 16 below zero. Again, when you factor in the wind, that creates this wind chill on the order of 40 to 60 below. The good news is the wind will lighten toward morning, and so it does appear we'll see that wind chill come up just a bit. Irony of ironies, right now Barrow, Alaska is only 3 above zero, and Barrow, Alaska is about 250 miles north of the Arctic Circle. So we are seeing some of the coldest air in the entire continental U.S. and northern hemisphere. at this hour. And we'll be talking about a warm-up that's coming our way for, looks like the weekend in just a few minutes.
It warms the soul just to hear you say that, Chuck.
See you in a
We'll
bit.
check in with you just a little bit later.
Okay.
Monroe County Special Ed, Summerfield, and Whiteford Agricultural.
And in Livingston, Heartland, Howell, Livingston Intermediate, Pinckney. And in St. Clair County, I guess we're still waiting for the list of schools that are closed there, more. But that sounds like just about
the
all of
teletype
the
was
schools.
frozen in St. Clair County. It might have been faster just to read the schools that are open. Are there any schools open
I
tomorrow?
don't know, and if we didn't read yours, I'd check tomorrow on the Newsbeat today.
Yeah, it's possible the list went by too fast for you, or if you weren't sure whether your school was on it, don't worry, because we will be repeating the list.
Yes, we will go through the list of school closings one more time later in the newscast.